I'm live. Chat, I'm not responsible for the PNG avatar. It's not a lolly. It's actually a gentleman of age.
I mean, I think I'm older than you are.
Yeah. I did promise that I'm not going to do any more VTubing, and by the way, I kept my promise. I'm not the one doing it.
I'm sure that this will not get any backlash at all.
Probably not.
Well, tell you what, if there's any backlash, send it to me. I'm the villain anyway.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is Spooki. He wants to resume his VTubing career, and I'm giving him a leg up. You probably know him from my server. Probably interacted with him. And we're going to discuss some of the most interesting news which came out this week. But give me a second, because I need to use my other phone in order to display chat. Here we go. People keep saying, like, get a second monitor. Spooky, never get a second monitor. You hear me?
I'm a 4-monitor guy.
No, it's wasteful capitalism. It's what makes...
4-monitor guy.
Yeah, it's what makes Greta Thunberg upset. Like, I'm pretty sure she looks at you and she's crying. Like, right now you make baby Greta cry.
You're selling me on the idea more.
Yeah. I just have a phone, and the phone works perfect as a second monitor. Alright, now, I want you to be more energetic, Spooky. You sound like a dead ghost.
Energetic.
Yes, with more energy. Yeah, give me that, Spooky.
Fresh from the grave or something. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Alright, so let's start with the first article of the day, which I found to be very interesting, because it's also about VTubing. So, this is in Japan. And in Japan, there is a local VTuber which promotes her city. That's very ushi-kushi, isn't it? It's like the city has a local VTuber and she promotes tourism.
Chat says there's an audio problem.
What exactly is there?
Apparently, I'm being heard mostly through your mic. For reasons unknown.
Alright, let me see if I can work it out. Oh, I know why. It's not like he talks that much, chat, so it's not like there's a problem. Okay, say something now.
Something now.
Alright, chat.
I'm never gonna stop making that joke.
Yeah, but like, we now have to wait 2 minutes until the chat confirms whether or not it's fixed. And if it's not fixed, then we have to wait 2 more minutes. God, this is why I hate having guests, chat. Like, I heard you. It's like, V, have more guests. And then this happens. Every single goddamn time. Alright. Well, it wasn't like this. Like, YouTube used to have Google Hangouts, and you could actually verify how the audio is. But for some reason, they removed that. And there's no way of verifying the way the guest sounds. Like, you can verify your own sound, but...
Well, you can blame the tech problems on me. I'm known to be a walking, electromagnetic pulse. Everything breaks in my presence.
Okay. I think now it's fine.
Is it good?
I don't know, but I don't see chat complaining, so... Alright, it's sorted. Yeah. Okay,
Sorted.
So, as
Yeah.
I was saying,
Alright.
before I got rudely interrupted by chat. There is a Japanese VTuber which is promoting her own city. Like, she does a lot of streams where she walks around and talks about, places to visit, historical things about her city. And apparently, recently she got cancelled by feminists.
This one was absolutely fascinating to me on so many levels.
Her name is Toju Rinka, Matsudo City's very own VTuber, who makes content to promote her city alongside with the Matsudo City Police Department. Like, I just want you to understand, in Japan, the police department works with VTubers.
That's certainly one point, but there's a more interesting level to this, I think, as well. Matsudo is not exactly a prosperous town. Kind of feel like they need every leg up they can get when you consider that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what she was saying she wanted to do. Like, she wanted to help her city out. And she wanted to show people, hey, if you plan on a vacation, come to Matsudo, because it's a really good place, and you can visit this and that. So apparently, she received backlash from the Alliance of Feminist Representatives. By the way,
Something I noticed right away about that, their acronym is in English. AFER, they're not using the Japanese words. Isn't that interesting?
yeah, a lot of this cancer is coming from U.S. universities at this point, especially Columbia
I take
University.
no responsibility. I take no responsibility. Wasn't me.
You don't teach at Columbia?
Oh man, I tried, but I just wasn't my kind of university. Didn't meet my standards, don't you know?
So anyway, what I do find interesting is this VTuber working with the cops. Does that make the VTuber a fed? You think she glows in the dark?
I mean, I think she glows so brightly you can see it during the daytime, but they do say that VTuber's goal is to shine on a stage, so I think it counts.
So apparently, the feminists were complaining that let's see, where is that? Oh yeah, the way she was dressing, right? She was dressing in a revealing schoolgirl uniform, and the breasts were swaying with every movement.
I'm not seeing the downside.
Because you're a misogynist. Rika's activities gained the attention of the Matsudo City Police Department, and so they asked her to help spread awareness regarding traffic safety. They created a 3-minute and 30 seconds video with Rika and Bakerogu, a Matsudo City mascot, about bicycle safety, which was posted on the Chiba Prefecture Police Department Twitter page.
I actually remember when that video first went up, and Twitter was very angry at the time. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but apparently they organized.
Wait, hold on. I think I have access to the video. Let's show it to chat. You're not going to see it, but the chat will. Let me just see if I can.
No.
I think. Yeah. Okay, I got the video, chat. You see how much effort I do for you? Look at this. Hold on. Oh my god, it's got a spooky ghost next to it. Oh, you're missing so much, man.
Oh no, I'll see it in 2 minutes on the stream.
Dude, it's not even
I have a second
that.
monitor.
It's not even that fucking bad. It's. I mean,
It is purely bitterness.
dude, I
He's
have
not doing anything
seen.
wrong.
Like, I have seen VTubers that are worse than this. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be right back. I need to close the window so I can shout, because this is making me a little bit angry. And I don't want my neighbors to hear a squeaky Romanian, like, shouting obscenities.
This is really
During
fucking
the middle
stupid.
of the fucking night, what the fuck is this? Look at this shit. Just look at this fucking shit. Oh my god. So, I have seen VTubers that are far worse than this. Alright, like, this is casual, tame level. Like, if your daughter goes to school this way in Japan, you're like, oh, well, you know, it's fine. But, like, no, then there's the feminists. Like, look, a Christian mother who goes to church, if her daughter dresses like this, she would be like, you know, okay. Like, she would probably not be very happy with it, but she wouldn't be like, yeah, you go back upstairs and change your clothes, missus.
I'll do you one better. I went to a Catholic school for much of my childhood, and they did dress like that.
They
That
do
was
dress like,
very
I
similar to our
I
uniform.
went to an evangelical school, okay? And I see girls dressed like this. Like, this is not over the top, okay? Like, this is... I guess you can watch anime, and this is just normal. Like, this is the school uniform in Japan as well.
I also want to point out that people are saying that I appear to be in this advertisement as well. I don't believe I was paid for this. I think they still owe me money.
Hey, no, this is Japanese feminism. Apparently, they're having a bad case of it recently.
Well, the thing I find most fascinating about their complaint here is that fundamentally what they're complaining about, when you get right down to it, is this woman has breasts.
No, it's not even breasts. Like, look at it. It's not even Shy Lily level, okay? Like, we're not talking that she's got, like, big mammary glands, you know, like, big oozing, like, waiting to burst outside of her tiny shirt. No.
They genuinely seem to be just complaining that the woman looks like a woman.
Yes.
I can't with these people. I don't... How do they even get to this point? What has gone wrong in their personal lives? I would love to interview these people.
By the way, the people are complaining about the audio gain. What the hell? Like, I haven't touched it, chat. I did not touch this thing. Do you understand? Like, this thing was left in pristine condition since the last stream. Why are you complaining? What is wrong with it? All right, fine. I'll turn the gain level down a little bit. I hope this is better. Holy shit. God. I swear to God, they're just trolling at this point. Anyway.
I mean, that does sound like them.
We have reached the point where this is problematic. I think like anything less than the Middle East is not going to please these people. You know, it used to be a meme, but no, I genuinely think like unless they have a hijab on, it's not fine. Probably also due to the fact that it's a cartoon, right? Because if it's an actual woman dressed like this, they usually don't complain. In fact, if you are a boy and you're saying, oh, the girls in my school are dressed too provocatively and they're preventing me from studying, oh, then they call you a misogynist. But if there's a VTuber that's dressed, I wouldn't even say like mediumly provocative. It's like
very mild.
Yeah, very mild. Anyway. So, the Alliance of Feminists of Representatives posted a letter of protest on their Facebook page regarding this protest. According to their statement, the video showed a high school girl in a revealing uniform and breasts swaying with every movement. Yeah, it's called physics. The AFAR feared that this depiction would promote sexual violence and objectification against young girls. How the fuck is this promoting sexual violence or objectification? In what fucking world? Chat.
I got a deeper question on that one. I mean, leaving aside what they think, what they're claiming it's promoting, am I the only person who noticed that their description was oddly focused on one specific thing? Did they notice she has a face? I didn't the first time I watched it.
The thing is, like,
just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. But like, the thing is, like, she's not that big of a breast. Like, in fact, the ribbon that she has on her chest actually hide her breasts. If anything, like, the focus would be on the belly button. Like, if you're a navel fetishist, like Grooms.
I mean, my focus is always on the belly button.
Yeah, but like, if you're a person like you, then yeah, sure. But like with the breasts, very bizarre. God damn it. The thing that annoys me is that they managed to win. Like, this is the thing that's because like the police cocked. They're like, oh well.
Well, you know, they did basically do the Karen thing. Agree with me or I'll scream. What was the wording? Make the situation known to the public. They threatened to make it known.
All right, hold on. The audio. Oh my god. This is the thing that's because like the police cocked. Yeah, I guess it's speaking. Holy shit. But I don't know what to do with it. Audio input device. Maybe it's on my phone. No, it's the microphone Yeti. All right, I'll try to take it a little bit down. Is this better, chat? Like, I hope this is going to be better. All right.
V, your chat has very fine taste. I hear ankles, wrists, and the nape of the neck.
Wine, you know, like wine tasters. There's too much acid.
Yeah, you guys have some. You guys have some very, very refined tastes in the lady folk.
Yeah, thank you for the donation, Nate. I appreciate it. Oh, now it's too low. Oh, I see. Oh, naruhodo. Okay, well, I'll put it at this. Ah, God. Can't have a fatty stream. And, you know, it's also the Yeti mic. These microphones, they peak a lot. Like, they if you drop a pin, they're going to hear it. OBS filter limiter at -6 decibels. Dude, it's at -3. Like, if I put it at -6, then people will complain that they can't hear shit. I hope it's good now.
There's a reason I got rid of my Yeti mic.
Put your sound back? No. How about no, chat? How about no? Alright. People are saying it's better. I hope it's better. I'm not going to tinker with it again. And then I find out.
Chat, what are dimples of Venus? Your chat is very refined taste. They're clearly more sophisticated than I've ever been. They're coming up with words that I've never heard before.
It's because I'm squeaky as fuck. How the fuck can you not be squeaky when you read shit like this, dude? Like, when you realize that there are people out there that are in control of what you're allowed to see, and they're, like, crushing the dreams of this young, aspiring woman. This is what they did. You know, they used their influence because they had nothing better to do, and they crushed the dreams of this poor young lady. How can you not be squeaky? It's probably because you're an American and this is normal to you. It's not normal here in Eastern Europe.
It's disappointing to me how normal this has become for me.
Yes. Like, if you showed this 10 years ago, people would have freaked out. It's like, what do you mean? This is outrageous. Whatever happened with Americans going like, oh, this is outrageous.
You know what I noticed? You know what? That's a fun little thing I noticed. Nobody complains when I show ankle. A little weird. Almost like there's a bias
there. Your
there.
ankle, actually. I did censor you because, like, dude. It's like, look at this, chat. Look at this.
It's okay. It's okay, chat. You can go to my Twitter and I will show you the good stuff.
I disapprove,
I'm sure you'll
just so you
enjoy.
know. I disapprove. I did censor
He
you.
disapproves.
I censored
He's a
your
good
model,
boy.
yes.
He's a good boy and I'm a degenerate.
Not many were happy about this decision, as shown by a Change.org campaign with 43,000 signatures. Just so you know, like, it's a small town. 43,000 probably upset everyone, including the grandmother. Concerns were raised over Offer's shoddy arguments and the fact that some of the council members from the city are also members of the same feminist organization. The issue was also raised. Yeah, the issue was also raised to one regarding freedom of speech.
So it's corruption too. It's not just them being Karens. They're Karens with an inside track.
Yeah, like the police would, like, who do we respond to? Oh, the mayor and like the city council, and they're part of the same organization that's bitching about this.
This is why you never let progressives into your government.
Mm-hmm. You need.
I do like that they called out the shoddy arguments, though.
Yeah, you need hardcore religious Catholics. You know, like they are going to fight the progressives. Just balance it out. Like, let 50 progressives and 50 Catholics in, and you know, see what.
I'd like to point out that I'm a hardcore traditionalist Catholic, and we'll get back to that, I'm sure, with one of these other stories. But I think it's about time for.
Hold on. Let me show people your avatar again. Can you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like what? What?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah.
What are your beliefs?
Listen, I've seen the Renaissance art. I'm relatively conservative by comparison. Let's be clear.
Do you think that the Pope would approve to this?
I don't give a fuck. I don't think he's a real Pope, but we'll get to that in the next.
You know, I think like the Pope did like an ushikushi lady on Instagram. What was her name?
Yeah, his official account. I could pull that up if you want, but his account, he got caught. He got caught accidentally liking it on the official account. They blamed it on some like low-level intern, but I don't buy it. I think it was him.
Mm. So you think like the Pope, you know, he went there like all shaking because he's old and stuff. And, you know, he sat on the papal chair and he opened his computer and looked on Instagram and went like, I like.
All I'm saying is he looks like a Sith Lord. I wouldn't be surprised if he needed that to feel anything at all.
I don't think it's the current Pope that looks like a Sith Lord. I think it's the previous one.
No, the current one does too. He just looks like he's not quite as far down the path of the dark side yet. But he'll get there.
Fine. Okay, so the end of the story is that the Change.org petition is waiting for the Japanese government to give a statement because they are very upset about this. Moving on, another interesting news is that a woman is suing a man for $10,000 for not showing up on a date.
Oh, this one. Oh boy.
I mean, her time is precious, man. Like you can't just.
Can we take a moment to just appreciate the picture of this woman?
Can we take a moment just to appreciate that I could have done this in the past, like with all the women that stood me up, and I would probably be a millionaire by now.
You don't have the glasses for it. Your glasses are not nearly as aggressive as hers are.
That is correct. I mean, they do look like problem glasses, but like
right?
She sees she sees so many problems that she needs a frame that's very thick.
I like that she has racing stripes on it. You see that she's got the little white marks, just so that she can aggressively approach the manager at a high speed, and it'll look right.
A woman from Michigan, United States, sues a man for $10,000 for standing up on a date. You know, maybe she's thinking with the current inflation in the U.S., by the time she gets money for the suit, $10,000 is probably going to be like $100.
Oh, she'll be lucky to get a loaf of bread by next week.
Yeah.
Chat says, isn't that Chris Tucker in a blonde wig? Yeah, probably.
Holy fuck, now I can't unsee it. Kya Shante. Kya Shante. How do you pronounce this? Kya Shante H. Short filed. Oh, H short. That's her name? So Kya Shante.
Yeah, her name is
H
short.
Filed a lawsuit.
And she's got a temper that matches it.
Yeah, it's a little. You know, I'm Romanian. I don't have these types of names here, so I'm trying to make sure I don't mispronounce it.
You want me to give that a shot?
She filed a lawsuit in September 2020 against her date, Richard Jordan, and claimed that the experience caused her emotional distress because the date fell on her late mother's birthday. What the f... You know what I mean? Okay, so her mom passed away, and then she set up a date on the same day that her mom passed away, and because the guy didn't show up, this caused her emotional distress. $1,000 worth of emotional distress, may I add.
I have multiple problems with that. I mean, for starters, like you said, why would you schedule it on that day of all days?
Yeah, if it
I feel like
bothers
she
you.
was looking
some
for a
people are
problem.
fine, you know, like some people are like, oh, you know, it happened, life has to go on, right? But other people are a little bit more emotionally vulnerable, and like if that's the case, why would you? Maybe, you know, like maybe she said it on Friday, and then she's like, oh fuck, this is when my mom died.
I don't think so. The second half of the story makes me think she did it on purpose.
Oh, let's see. However, during the virtual court hearing via Zoom, by the way, she was the cat, Judge Herman Marble Jr. told Short that she filed the lawsuit in the wrong court and that she should have filed it in the circuit court. Holy shit. You know, when this happens, you lose all your money.
Can I point one thing out here that's really important? Circuit court, that means she's trying to make it a criminal case.
Ooh. See, I'm not familiar with American law, but now that you
basically,
say this,
circuit courts are regional criminal courts. There's like 9 of them, I think.
You need to blink 3 times if you're held hostage, Spook.
I mean, I can't blink at the moment. I'm very flat, but that's okay because flat is justice.
However, during the virtual court hearing via Zoom, and by the way, look at the man. I want chat to appreciate. This is, you know, the man getting sued. Like, I want you to picture yourself in the following situation, right? Like, you're asked on a date, you don't show up, and then you have to go to court. You have to hire a lawyer. You have to talk to your boss and explain why you're not going to be at work. And this is the facial expression of this particular gentleman, of Mr. Richard Jordan. You know, and the facial expression of the judge as well. Like, the judge is also... He looks like a person that's seen too much.
Read his quote there. He's clearly very surprised that he's here.
All right, so the judge proceeded to ask the defendant, Richard Jordan, if he would be representing himself in the case. Jordan told the judge, to be honest with you, sir, I thought this was just going to be thrown out. We had a date, one date, and nothing else after that, and now I'm being sued for $10,000. I don't think this is going to go any further, and I think it's a waste of my time.
Understatement of the century. Good Lord. This woman is something special. Like,
the woman then yelled, okay, like, I want you to imagine this, like, she yelled over him. If he responds and his response is a lie, then it's perjury, and my documents would prove it's a lie.
On a few levels, that's something you don't say to a judge in the United States. That could get you contempt of court and like a year in jail, like right away, if the judge is pissed off at you.
In response, Judge Dredd said, No, do you understand what perjury is? To which she replied, please do not insult my intelligence. Please do not insult my intelligence. Do not do that as if I don't understand what perjury means.
Translators note, she doesn't understand what perjury means at all. She's not even close.
I have to say, like, the balls on this woman, you know, to speak like this to a judge. Holy shit.
She's genuinely lucky. I guess maybe you can't get years in jail for contempt because it's technically not the circuit court yet. But now she's trying to move it to a circuit court. Mm-hmm. She is 100% going to get herself thrown in jail for back-talking a judge. That is a thing that can happen.
I think that she's going to get a fine. Like, you can't get a fine if you... I mean, even... so I don't know how it's like in the United States, right? But even if it's like a civil lawsuit, you can still be accused of... What do you guys call it? Not disrespecting a judge. Contempt of court.
Contempt of court.
Contempt of court. Yeah, you can still be accused of contempt of court, even if you're not in a circuit court, as you put it.
Yeah. She certainly could get a fine for it, even if the case is transferred to the circuit court. She might actually get a fine just from this. It's entirely possible.
The judge was heard saying twice, "Be quiet while I'm talking."
I bet she hears that a lot, doesn't she?
was mansplaining. Short ended with the following. Bottom line is, you said it's a criminal offense, so I will send it to the circuit court. Are we done here? Are we done here? Are we done here? Okay, so yeah, like basically she's accusing now the guy of perjury, and if that's the accusation, that it's no longer a civil matter, it's a criminal matter. So this is why the judge is sending it to a circuit court. But like obviously it's going to be thrown out.
Yeah, very clearly. And boy, I don't know if you took the time to watch this video. Chad, after the stream, you should go watch this video. It's worth your time. There are layers to this, and it's weird how... V, did you watch this video in advance? You got her voice almost right. It was pretty close.
No, I didn't. But like, I'm very good at stereotyping. Like, if stereotyping is wrong, why am I always so right? Like, it just took a look at the glasses, at the facial expression of the judge, at the guy getting sued, and, you know, it all clicked. It was like in a dream.
I believe you. I will take your word for it. One of these days, I'm gonna need to have to test you on this. We're gonna have to like line up some pictures and some voice clips and see if you can match them up.
Oh, I think I would be a pro.
I believe you.
I may not be able to do accents, but at least the voice intonation definitely spot on. What I do want to point out is that this guy is probably so happy. Like, this is why he's smiling, because he realized he dodged the bullet. Like, can you imagine if it would have gone past the first date?
You know, like I said, I really think she set it up on this date specifically to sue him, because somewhere further down in the article, it was way down in the bottom. Ah, there it is. Yeah, she sues people all the time frivolously. Look at the very last line.
We have those people. There's a word in Romanian for it. I don't know how to translate it into English, but it's kind of like a person that makes a living out of lawsuits.
In the United States, there's a phrase for this that is it's applied to lawyers mostly rather than clients, but sometimes to them as well. It's called an ambulance chaser.
Oh yeah.
As soon as something is mildly wrong, you immediately go for money.
Yeah, but that's a lawyer. No. Like obviously, a lawyer needs to ambulance chase, right? Because that's his job. But we're talking about like a person that constantly sues people. I think like kind of like Justice or Mania, something like this would be like translated. But like a person that constantly tries to create something where he can sue the other person for it and make money off of it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's not really a scammer. Like, for example, this is one of my guys. He always went, like back in 2016, there was this, huge wave of feminismus. And he would go to feminist events that were women only, knowing that he will get kicked out. And when he got kicked out, he would sue the event organizer for gender-based discrimination. Because the current city that he was doing this had this law which says you can't discriminate people based on race, sexuality, gender. And he was like, oh, so it says gender? Well, okay. Well, if I'm discriminated in public, if I'm not allowed to participate at a public event, and I'm being discriminated on gender, I can sue the people. And he would do this every single year. Like, he didn't want to participate in the event. He didn't care about the event. He just wanted to get kicked out. And he would dress very provocatively, like, like a business suit, and, he would look as masculine as possible, have a big beard. And he would get there, would be kicked out, and then he would sue, and he would win money every single fucking time. And sometimes he would even travel the country to go to other feminist events. Like, he would travel 300 kilometers just to go to a feminist event so he could get sued. So he could
I have one important question about this man.
Yeah.
Was the beard cool?
Sorry?
Was the beard cool?
I don't know. I haven't seen like him actually attending the events. Like, we used to be colleagues in law school, and then we didn't keep touch because he moved to a different city. But I did hear about his antics because I read it in the newspaper. And I was like, hold on, I know this guy. What the fuck?
Oh, so he was always a bit of a slick guy, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's why he wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah. Man of culture. Thank you for the $4.99. Honestly, like, for him, it was every day he was in court, so this didn't really bother him that much. Like, well, he's already in court. He may as well just, file on a, what is it called? Not an injunction. Just file the papers and sue the organizers. It was really cute. But anyway, right.
You can tell this judge in this case had a long day before this.
This one is actually very interesting. So Meghan Markle which is apparently diversity in the royal family. Like the thing with Meghan Markle, I will say this, okay? Like if she comes to Romania, everyone will say that she is white. Like not a single person would say, oh well, she's clearly a black individual, right? But the reason this matters is because the press, every single time someone said that they don't like Meghan Markle, was like, oh, you're a racist. Oh, it's racismus. And I'm like, what? Really? Like, dude, like, I'm looking at her. Like,
Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of a contrast in that photo. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. But anyway, right? No, this is like why I brought it up, because like she is viewed as a champion for race relations, right? Like she's going to fix racismus in the United Kingdom, and apparently she went on a vacation and she went to a poor African village, and she took the time to take selfies and photos with the village in the background. So apparently,
Yeah, I find that a little suspect considering the photographer she chose to bring.
yeah, I will read the news right now for the chat so you can see what she did. But like, she basically did a photo op with a very impoverished African village in the background. So Meghan Markle bought a suitcase of clothes and insisted she could bring a Canadian photographer with her to Rwanda, an explosive biography claimed. Writing in his new book, Tom Bauer detailed how the Duchess of Sussex was invited in a trip in January 2016 by World Vision Canada to be part of a film to promote the charity work building water wells in the African country. By the way, PewDiePie actually donated to similar campaigns, and no one talks about it. Like, it's every time people talk about PewDiePie, it's like, oh, the conveyor of the N-word, the purveyor of racismus, and they don't mention that he actually donated a lot of money to charities.
He doesn't really go out of his way to advertise the good things he does. He actually does a lot, but he's really humble about it. Probably doesn't do him much favor. But
no, because I remember like looking at it, I think he donated at least $3 million to charities. And it was like fighting AIDS in Africa, building water and infrastructure for people. You know, like all the charities that he donated to, they were not controversial. Like it wasn't a couple of grifters that, no, like genuinely people that wanted to achieve something, like building a well in Africa.
The other thing is, those are actually charities that would be productive and actually help people on the ground, as opposed to just disappearing into fancy dinners for the people running it.
People say he donated to BLM. I don't remember that. I mean, if he did, maybe, but I remember he wanted to donate to ADL, I believe. And then when he found out that the ADL is controversial, he rescinded his donation. And it was kind of funny because the ADL started whining and saying, we haven't gotten the money from PewDiePie yet. And like, well, you're never going to get it because, you know, people were showing to PewDiePie some of the controversies that the ADL has gone through. I don't know if it was the ADL or the ACLU. Like, it was one of these two organizations, but it was funny anyway.
They're basically the same group of defamation specialists.
Defamation specialists.
They defame people.
I love the.
Well, they defame people all the time.
Yes,
they would be experts.
So Brenda Surbisky, a producer who had been due to film the trip, could no longer travel to Rwanda, and the Canadian cameraman joined instead. However, Bauer, who admits to speaking to people who are not close to Meghan for his book, claims that after filming with the children playing with a water tap, Meghan disappeared with Jurina to take photographs with some of the youngsters. At the end, he was puzzled. Celebrities using a desolate African village as the backdrop for a fashion shot was mind-boggling. Well, how the fuck do you think these pictures arrive? Like, how do you think these pictures come out? Like, every single time I see a picture like this in the media, I do realize that it wasn't probably a snapshot, but they had to hug this child for probably an hour until the lighting was good, until she was satisfied. I mean,
that child's eyes don't say, I'm happy to be here. It says, help me.
But no, think about it. Like you dated women, right?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I've been dumped many a time.
Have you ever took a picture with a mademoiselle?
I'm famously anti-photograph. I've always fled cameras.
Let me tell you the horrors that you missed, okay?
They'll steal my soul and I don't have much left, okay?
I can tell you some of the horrors of people that still have a soul to give. They will take a picture, and then they will look at it, and they don't like it. and then they will take another and another and another and another, and the food gets cold because you're at the restaurant, right? And I want you to imagine the ice cream melting as she keeps taking those fucking photos, expecting that at one point she will be satisfied, but no, right? So this is with like a girlfriend. Now imagine a celebrity, right? Like imagine a person that has a team, like a photographic team. How many pictures do you think this took in order to get, with her hugging the child?
Do you think the child is melting too?
Chat?
All I'm saying is I would be fleeing if I saw her coming towards me, especially wearing that weird Indiana Jones outfit.
Obviously, she probably gave the child a cookie or something, But still, it's like,
I don't think she's capable of that human warmth.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this, like all of these things are fake. This is the fakeness of the media. Like, I never believe just by seeing a picture or like a clip of videos or something. But you do have a point, right? Like when you look at this, usually the celebrity is happy and the person interacting with the celebrity is either bewildered or just annoyed. According to Bauer, between the Duchess and the charity came through advertising agency KBS after Matt Hassel, the creative director in Toronto, suggested she would be the ideal to promote the WVC. She spoke to Meghan for 30 minutes before the actress agreed to promote the project building water wells in destitute villages. Well, if you wanna... Yeah. See, this is the problem with charities. A lot of the money is going into marketing. Like, anyone who worked with charities eventually become... There's two people. Either cynical people that realize, okay, well, we can work with charities to make money, or people that literally have heart and they can't stay there. They usually resign. Because what ends up happening is that a lot of the money goes through the bureaucracy. So out of $100, usually a little bit under half, like $45 goes to marketing. Like raising awareness.
Yeah, I think there was a report a while ago from the UN. I'm just going to quote this from memory, so forgive me if I get the numbers wrong. But it was something like the average charity will give something like 4% actually reach the ground. 4 cents out of $1.
Yeah. Because like the marketing is like 45%. And then you have to pay for the actual people that work there. And then you also have to... like pay the actual logistics, like how the money gets from one place to another, or like, okay, you want to build wells, right? Like you need approval, you need stamps, you need this. And then like very little of the actual money from the charity genuinely goes for what the charity is supposed to go.
Well, it's all going to photo shoots and outfits for Meghan Markle.
Yes. In the emotional piece, Meghan said that she split time between Hollywood and humanitarian work. Writing on her website, she said, "My life shifts from refugee camps to red carpets. I choose them both because these worlds can in fact coexist." Well, yeah, I mean, this is how you promote yourself. Like as a Hollywood person, your name is the brand. And if you keep popping up in newspapers that you're at refugee camps and you're doing this and that, then of course it's going to help your acting career. Like it's not like you're choosing. I'm
going to point out,
yeah,
if she brought that many outfits with her, she had to bring a special car to carry them. I've seen already like 5 full outfits in this. She had to bring basically an entire closet with her. And second, and more importantly, her clothes are way too clean. She's staying in a hotel.
About that. Holy shit, that is such a good observation. Yeah, like you would expect that in places where the roads are dusty, because like there's no pavements or anything. Like you'd expect the clothes to be a little bit more dirty. Like for example,
at least
this
a little,
child,
yeah.
like he's got like look at this picture, right? Like especially at the pants, like people have dirty clothes, but her are spotless.
Yep.
She looks like what Daenerys Stormborn among like.
She looks like she's trying to do her best Indiana Jones, but she kind of comes off more like a serial killer.
Well, she definitely killed the happiness of her husband. We're going to look into another news segment after this, but apparently, my life shifts from refugee camps to red carpet. So, the only reason she goes to refugees and what's not is because it's popular. Like, if this was 40 years ago when the church was popular, I'm willing to bet that she would have gone to church and, visited faraway holy places and gone on pilgrimages and shit. Like, I don't believe
She
for
would
a
have been
second that
posing in
she's like,
front of She would have been posing in front of sacred relics dressed as a nun, and people would have to point out, you know, you're not actually a nun, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I do not believe that she is choosing between her acting career and activism. I think that she's using activism to push her acting career.
I'll do you one better. I don't even think she's really participating in the activism. I think she's getting paid out of this somehow. They probably are paying her.
Of course. Well, you know, like, even if she isn't getting paid, I mean, wouldn't you go to Africa? I mean, it's kind of cool. You get to visit faraway places, right? Like, you spend some time.
I would visit Africa, but I'd be careful to avoid the impoverished villages. I've heard some things in more serious documentaries and things about how certain outsiders are treated, particularly people who are, for example, slightly androgynous men.
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that she has security detail. Like, none of these celebrities would go in a faraway place without some security detail. So even
you actually, I can give you a little insight on that. If you actually see the video in here, the little 1-minute clip, in the background, those white vehicles, the white SUVs, those are security vehicles.
Oh.
And you can identify them because they have a higher suspension than others. They're made to be able to drive quickly in rough terrain.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. No, but see, this is exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It's a free journey to a faraway place. You get to tell people, oh, I've been on a safari. You get to do whatever you want afterwards. And I wouldn't be necessarily worried about, oh, well, you're going into this place, considering that you have security detail with you. So yeah, like, it's kind of funny because I remember a couple of days ago, well, not days ago, weeks ago, like, there were people livid that Instagram models are taking pictures in what was it? Okay, it wasn't weeks ago. It was before the war with Russia. There were Instagram models that went to Chernobyl and took pictures because it was the Chernobyl TV show that was popular. So you had, like, all these buxom ladies, you know, go there taking pictures. And the journalists were freaking out, saying, oh my God, this is so disrespectful. This is so fucking disrespectful. And Meghan Markle does exactly the same, right? Like, she goes into places and takes pictures there. And everyone is, like, clapping because that's activism.
The only thing I remember from the Chernobyl trend there was one of those ladies holding a Geiger counter and seductively stripping off a hazmat suit in a hot zone, where in the picture you could see that the Geiger counter was redlining.
Well, you know, I guess you have to put it in balance. Like, what's more important, your health or the money that you're making? Because they usually make a lot of money for that stuff, right? So I guess it's 5 years off your life, but in exchange, you get probably $100,000.
You say that, but the tumors will be visible after 2. I don't know how well that's going to go for your career long term as an Instagram performer, whatever you call them.
Instagram model, I think it's the accurate name. So
I had another word in mind, but I can't use it on YouTube.
Yeah, well, Mr. Personality says, remember to bully the ghost. I don't want to bully the ghost.
He certainly does already. You might as well just join in. It's not gonna get any better.
Okay, so you said that you're a Christian man.
I am indeed.
A pious member of the Catholic faith.
I have a rant locked and loaded for this one if you want it.
So, according to the Vatican, they are now considering the synodal path to be a heretical movement. So I'm like, what is the synodal path? Well, the synodal path is a progressive movement in the church, which is about to cause a schism because they believe on a couple of issues. For example, women's ordination should be allowed by the Vatican. The laity should have more influence on the election of bishops. Homosexual partnership unions should get a public blessing ceremony. The Roman Catholic Catechism's teachings on sexual ethics should be reformed. Homosexual sexual acts within same-sex union partners should be theologically accepted and not classified as sinful behavior. Married priests should be allowed. Changes to the labor laws of the German church to prohibit the firing or refusal to hire of people based on marital status. and this is how it looks. You got like der Synagoge. This is in Germany, and the Pope is worried that this progressive movement may end up causing a schism within the Holy See.
Yeah, I'm noticing a couple of things right away. First thing I notice, if you look at the photos right at the top on this tweet, the people you see there, none of them exactly come across as like paragons of traditional wisdom. I don't see a single long white beard. I'm seeing a lot of Karen haircuts, and I feel like this organization is a lot more progressive and a lot less Christian.
So you're saying that they're being subversive?
What? Progressives being subversive of a major institution? I don't think that's likely.
You're saying that they have an agenda.
It's almost like we've seen this sort of thing before.
So in Germany, for those of you who don't know, it's probably one of the most forward-thinking and progressive places in Europe. The communists, after World War II, they outlawed homosexuality everywhere except for East Germany, because the culture there was in such a manner that it would have been difficult to...
They were very libertine.
Yes. Very libertine even for the communists at the time, including like some bizarre statements which came out from Germany. The Green Party, I believe 8 years ago, apologized for advocating for pedophilia. Like, you can find this on Google. Like, the leader of the Green Party in Germany apologized for trying to push pedophilia. And then you also have a couple of interesting experiments where a high-ranking psychologist in Germany, with the blessings of the government, thought that he should try an experiment to place children with pedophiles, because according to him, the pedophiles would love the children more. Like, this
that does sound very German.
Yeah, this is on Google. This is mainstream news. Like, I'm not, reading from some fringe far-right website. So now that you understand the culture of Germany a little bit better, it doesn't surprise me that this organization is getting a lot of traction to the point that it worries the Pope. Because the Pope is probably one of the most progressive popes that we have up till date. I mean, well, actually, you did have popes that had orgies in the Vatican. But...
I'm just going to point out that only applies if you think he's a legitimate pope. There's a word for this in the Catholic faith. It's called sedevacantism.
I mean, look, for those of you who don't know, the Pope is usually elected for life, right? Like, very rarely do popes step down. It has happened a couple of times in the history of the Catholic Church. But the previous Pope, for some reason, stepped down. Now, no one knows what the reason is, because...
politics.
He's still healthy, right? Like, he's still alive today. He's still doing fine. There's no scandal that came out, so it's not like he was being blackmailed or anything. Like, it's a mystery, right? So one day, the previous Pope steps down, and then you have this new gentleman coming out, and another weird thing happens. When a Pope is elected, you have all of the cardinals being locked up in a room where they don't have access to phones or anything, and they have to come up with the name of a new Pope. Now,
traditionally, that takes a very long time as well.
That takes a very long time, right? Because I think it needs to be unanimous, or at least like an overwhelming majority.
It has to be unanimous.
Unanimous, right. So you usually have like the cardinals staying in there for at least a week. But
up to 3.
Again, very rarely in history, it happens in a day. So previous Pope steps down, new Pope comes out, elected within a day. Like, all of these two historically significant coincidences happening one after another. So this is why a lot of people are a little bit bewildered. Not to mention, like, this Pope came out of nowhere. Like, he wasn't... I mean, he was known, but he was... How should I put it? A little bit more recluse. Like...
He was known for pushing progressive causes and undermining church authority consistently.
Yes.
He wasn't exactly a good boy.
Yeah. And again, it seems like a coup, right? Like, it seems like all of this was organized. Like, the bishops knew that the previous Pope is going to step down, and they already had the guy in mind to put there. And if you look at the current Pope, like, he supports every single progressive issue. For example, recently he came out in favor of veganism, and he said that meat consumption is not sustainable, which is a leftist word now. Like you look at World Economic Forum, their whole thing is sustainability, right? Like they moved equality, and now they're championing sustainability. He talks only shit about America when Trump was in office, and never says a single bad word against China or dictators in the Middle East. When the Hong Kong protests happened, the bishop from Hong Kong wanted to visit the Pope. The Pope didn't want to see him. Right? Like all of these very progressive stances. The only thing that I would say he doesn't have the progressive stances on abortion. Like that is probably the only thing, and that's because he would cause a schism in the church if he came out and said, abortion is actually fine.
I gotta be honest. I think calling this a coup is probably underselling it. This was about as close as you're gonna get to like murdering the emperor on his throne as far as Catholicism goes. This is so unusual that just the process by which this happened, it's probably reason enough to think that he's not a legitimate pope.
I wonder if you can say this on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. Do you think there's papal protections on YouTube now? I'm just picturing him calling up Susan and saying,
about what you guys do over there. Like if you think the Pope is legitimate or not, that's your business. I reject him entirely because I'm a child Orthodox believer. If my priest doesn't have a long ass beard, then he's not a priest.
Listen, all I'm saying is we before the Vatican II Council, we had a lot in common. After that, that's when the fake popes started. So I'm pretty much on board with almost everything you've got to say. You don't have to convince me. I'm with you.
It's very progressive to support China. It fucking is. Like, do you not know that Joe Biden came out and said, yeah, like we know they're kind of genociding the Uyghurs there, but it's their culture.
Wasn't it Canada that it was Trudeau, that plastic son of Castro, that said that I love China's total dictatorship. They really get stuff done.
Yeah,
and wasn't it Macron who said
that, yes.
Their Jupiterian leadership was something he admired? I'm seeing a trend.
Yeah, I mean, it is very progressive to support China. I will give you this.
Absolute dictatorships are progressive. Good to know.
But it's also interesting, right? Because like, on every single stance, like I can't think of a single stance where the Pope has come against like progressive ideology.
Yeah, he's made a lot of very intentional theological statements as well that undermine church doctrine. He's very much doing the same thing that you get from, well, let's say the current definitely free and fair, totally legitimately elected United States President Joe Biden, who he has this thing where he'll say something and then his White House has to come out and say that's not what he meant. What he actually meant was the exact opposite of what he said.
Like 5 times it happened. Yep. I remember the last one was talking about defending Taiwan. So like Joe Biden like made it absolutely clear because like people asked him like 3 times just to nail it down, just to see if are you absolutely sure that if Taiwan gets attacked, like the U.S. will defend it? Because up until now, the U.S. had a gray policy. Like they didn't say that they'll defend Taiwan, but at the same time they didn't say they won't. So like it wasn't ambiguous.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden was like, no, we're going to go balls in deep. And then the White House, literally the next day, goes like, no. Like what the president said, like that's not the White House policy. And I'm like, motherfucker, isn't he the White House? Like, isn't that how he works?
This has been happening a lot with the church too. He'll come out and say something extremely progressive and virtue signal as hard as he can. And then almost immediately, the Vatican will put out an official statement that says, what he actually meant was, maybe we should just consider the other side of the argument, even though he's very categorically...
I mean, the most bizarre shit that the Pope has ever said was that atheists go to heaven. Right? Like, an atheist can go to heaven. And I was like, I'm an atheist. Right? Like, I get what he's trying to do, but, like, if an atheist goes to heaven, why the fuck would I even bother with the church then?
There's actually a weird thing in Catholicism about that, actually. You only go to heaven as an atheist if nobody bothered to tell you about the whole Christianity thing. As soon as you hear about it, now you gotta be in or you're fucked.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, because, like,
weird,
if you
think
about it, right, like, you have an island of people, and they don't hear about Christianity, so they're all going to go to heaven. Is it like you going and proselytizing and teaching them about Christ, like, actually condemning some souls? Like you're going to
I
condemn
have
more than
always
save?
thought about this. I have no answer for you. I think it sounds a little blackmaily, but I'm gonna say that might be more of a human invention than a divine one.
There is nowhere in the Bible that says people who don't know about God are going to be forgiven, because like the whole concept is that everyone knows about God, right? So yeah, I don't know. But like no, his point was that an atheist, right? Like someone like me, if I do good deeds, I can go to heaven, in which case you completely invalidate the role of the Pope. Like you don't need the church.
Well,
You
the role
don't
of the
need...
church, at least, yeah.
Yeah, and even then, like I still don't believe it. Like, what atheist would fast? Right? Like, sure, maybe you're an atheist and you you give to charity and you don't commit any sins. Like maybe you can even have sex after marriage and whatever. But you still need to do the other parts of the rituals. Like you still need to fast, you still need to pray, you still need to do all of those things, which apparently now they don't matter.
I mean, if you're big enough into the gym, that cyclical fasting and the whole the Iron Temple, maybe it counts. Who knows? All the rules are out the window at this point with this guy. So
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out tomorrow and denies the Holy Spirit.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That's the saddest part.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this Holy Spirit. Like, what exactly did he do? Like, what?
I wouldn't be surprised if he came out and figured out something crazy like, oh, hey, what about this Jesus guy? Are we sure he existed? It's like...
Tariq says that Masha'Alavi, Muslims feel the same way about listening to men with long beards. Yeah, like if he doesn't have a long beard, is he actually a religious scholar?
Is that actually a rule?
Yes, in Orthodoxy and apparently in the Islamic faith.
Well,
like
in Islam, it's everybody though. That's a little different.
No, I think
it's a little
about it. No, the Catholics are wrong on this shit. I mean, the Jews, they have beards, right? Like the rabbis have beards. The Orthodox Christians have beards. The Muslims have beards. Like, I'm sorry, but it's 3-1 at this point.
Yeah, but we have much nicer hats.
I think the Muslims have nicer hats, actually. No, actually, hold the fuck on. I mean, the Orthodox priests have the coolest hats. Let me show you.
Admittedly, they do bling them up pretty good, like crowns. I kind of just like the tall Pope hat though. It's an interesting shape. It's just like it's like wearing a white building on your head.
Man, let me show
Makes you look like a wedding cake.
Hold on, I'll give you something in a bit. Behold, and I'll show the chat as well.
The chat makes a good point. The chat makes a good point. Sikhs and Vikings have beards. Maybe we are onto something.
Even Muslims don't have stuff that's cool as this. Look at it. Look at this. Huh? Isn't it to you? Doesn't it display strength and authority? I mean, when you think about the patriarchy, this comes to mind.
I mean, yeah, like I said, they definitely do have a way with bling. They certainly style things up a bit.
There's the white beard, which displays wisdom.
The little cross on the top might be a bit much.
No, that is like the icing. Dude, it's like selling a beautiful cake without the cherry on top. Like that's...
Well, that's the problem. He looks like a wedding cake.
Do you want me to tell you something that's going to blow your mind?
Please blow my mind. I would love that.
The patriarch actually has like one of these crosses, which can lower itself on top for when he enters an automobile.
Wait, like it's motorized?
No. Like you flip it. You know, it's like like a smartphone. Like you can flip it on.
Yeah.
And you can flip it back down.
So,
yeah.
Wait. So he's got a spring-loaded little flipper on the top of his head, so he can flip it down like the wing mirror of a car.
He can put the cross down when he enters a vehicle, right? Because like it's due to the height of the vehicle, right?
Yes.
Like if the cross wouldn't fit, so he doesn't have to take off the crown.
Yeah, so it's like the hood ornament of a car, or like the side mirrors of a car. You flip them in when you're washing your car, so your mirrors don't get scratched.
Yes, exactly like that. It's the same principle.
Well, maybe it makes sense then that he does that when he's getting into cars. It kind of fits all together. Car can fold up, he can fold up. It's like a transformer.
Look, Abdi Muhammad, I missed you. I don't know where you've been, brother, but apparently he was summoned here. In Islam, you should keep your beard. It's called sunnah. It's not a must, but you do earn extra Islamic points with growing a beard. Do you know what growing a beard teaches you? I will tell you now. Go. You know, I'll tell you, Spooky. You know why you need a beard?
I mean, patience, I'm sure. If nothing else.
Instills discipline in a man.
Discipline.
Yes.
Oh, do tell, because I'm not a very
have to
beardy
group that
fella.
shit. You have to group that shit that when you eat, you need to be very careful so that the sauce doesn't go into the beer, that you don't have like some potatoes that were there from last week. Like you need to groom the beer, you need to do this every day, regularly. This still is discipline. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm rubbing my chin right now and realizing I just completely didn't bother to shave today, and I'm starting to buy your point on discipline.
Yeah, it also keeps you away from the boobie, because nothing is better in life than feeling like the soft skin of the boobie rubbing against your cheek. But if you have a beard, you can't do that. Like the woman is going to scream. She's going to be like, "Ow, it's prickly."
Oh, see, now you sold me on it, and now you just backed me right away from it. I'm not on the beard train anymore.
Well,
I don't think that's gonna work.
Religion is part of suffering. Like you need to suffer.
Listen,
to show
all I'm saying is world is hard and cold, titties soft and wise, soft and warm. But it's also wise.
Naruhodo.
Seriously though, the progressives in Christianity, what a world.
Yeah, it's called the positive Christianity, I believe. Like they're trying to, like, the thing is they will take the sins of progressive ideology and consider those to be more important than the sins in the Bible, right? So like, for example, denying the Holy Ghost is probably like something they don't even care about, but racismus is probably the greatest sin. Okay,
so I have a solution to this. So they want to have positive Christianity. I'll bring some negative Christianity and we can electrocute them. A little bit of divine thunder. How about that?
That actually sounds so
being
cool.
mad.
Like if I have to choose between positive and negative Christianity, I'll probably choose the negative one.
I'm going to be real with you. Catholicism is negative Christianity. We put a lot of emphasis on guilt and consider guilt a certain amount of a virtue in the right context, in the right amounts. Mm-hmm. Guilt is a big thing, and it gets a bad reputation that doesn't deserve. Guilt is how you stop people from being terrible to each other.
I need to find a way to make this work. So I'm giving you this, and you will click play when I say play so that we watch it together and the chat can see it as well. This is about a fellow Muslim that Abdi Muhammad will appreciate.
All right, count me in.
His name is Hassan Piker. Hard because he used the slur against white people. I've been told he got suspended from Twitch for doing it.
Not nearly long enough.
He's a naughty boy. So, are you ready to click watch together?
Yes, count me in, Chief.
3, 2, 1, go.
You should stay on the call, but I think you should be more socially aware and understand. Oh no,
Is that a bad question?
Oh,
Do you not educate thousands of young men about your business strategies? I want to know more.
Okay, I want you to be more socially aware and understand that since you've joined the stream, everyone's begging for you to leave. The vibe's down. It's boring. It's late at night for me. I came here to have fun.
Vibes
You're
down,
being
man.
boring. No one thinks you're cool. No one thinks you're intelligent. No one thinks you're funny. And you
Lord, I just have questions and you're not answering.
I'm
them
looking
for
at the
some
man in
reason.
the top
answer
left
you.
looking like his parents
I don't
are
have to
fighting.
answer your questions. You're
Yeah,
not
he
the
doesn't
police.
know
I don't have
who
to answer you
to
anything.
put to support.
No, not at all. No, I am
Well,
not.
the guy in the
UK
top left, he
police,
looks
nor
like
the
he's
Romanian
maybe
one. I'm simply
17 years
asking you
old, and
questions
frankly,
about
having him
your
there with
business
his
strategy,
son anyway,
Well,
I feel
literally
like he's in
educate
danger.
people on.
Got
I
some
just wanna
stranger
know how you
danger right now.
how
Hold
you
on,
do
let's
growth
go
and
back a
like
little
revenue.
bit because the chat
Why
probably
can't
missed
I
that.
be a hustler? Oh, no, not at all. No, I am not the UK police nor the
my bad, my
Romanian
bad.
one. I'm
Correct.
simply asking you questions about your
I told
business
you
strategy,
the
which
answer.
you
Told you the
literally educate people on. I just want to know how you fucking how you do growth and revenue. Why can't I be a hustler? I want to be a hustler like you. I want to be a top G, a
Cool.
top bloke, a proper
Cool.
bloke.
Right. You can find out more on the website. I would like the stream to get fun again. If you want to discuss this, we
You
discuss
don't
it.
think your educational content is fun for people to consume?
I think everyone's saying kick him. Read the chat. Have you guys read the chat on your stream?
The thing is, Hassan Piker, the multi-billionaire, grilling someone else about hustling when he is peddling communism and sharing the wealth. That has to have a little bit of irony to it.
I mean, the man is full of irony. He wears an "Eat the Rich" shirt in front of his $3 million mansion.
Yes. And
I
buys,
think
like,
irony
a
is
very
lost on him.
expensive car.
It goes right over his head. I genuinely think he's incapable of understanding irony or having any self-awareness.
Oh no,
at all.
like
I
he
really don't
tried
think
to
it's
make
possible.
a couple of video responses to Sargon back in the day. Like he literally didn't understand what Sargon was saying. Like,
I'm not surprised.
And it wasn't like some difficult concepts or anything. Like it was some basic bitch, you know, like I think it was about identity politics. He was saying that what's good for feminism isn't necessarily good for women. And he was like, but how? Like, feminism is pushing women's rights, and blah, blah, blah. Like, that doesn't make sense. And it's like, oh, God.
But anyway, I have a couple of things that stick out.
Let's look at the second one. Are you ready?
Sure. Let's go.
2, 1, click.
There's a little bit more ruined.
No, it's not difficult. As a professional, I'll tell you the conversation we just had.
Yeah, dude, you've been kicked in the face and stuff. Like, I'm sure you can handle little old me.
Exactly. So I'll tell you as a professional conversation we just had. I said I am biased and I don't believe women can drive. That's my personal experience. I don't care if anyone agrees. You came along and said, don't interrupt me. You came along and said, no, that's not true because of the evidence. I came and said, I don't care about the evidence, my personal experience. You said, I also have personal experiences and we're all biased. I agreed. Then you said, even if I had personal experiences that said X, I would ignore them because the internet told me to believe Y. I believe what I am told.
That's not what I said. I said that regardless of my own personal biases that I might have, evidence is still more important than my personal biases.
When you guys are all talking at once,
and it's boring, and you've lost, and it's boring. So let's just move on to the next subject.
Is that what happens? You just say I'm boring and I lost, and then you win? Is that what it is?
Do a poll on the chat, and if you won, then we'll continue to talk it. But I'm sure you've lost, and it's boring. And it's
do you want me to leave the conversation that desperately, Andrew? It seems like you're running away a little bit.
Oh, we're just going in a never-ending circle. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So one thing sticks out to me immediately. Very unprofessional. I know that's a very low-level point, but I feel like it has to be said. That was extremely unprofessional on his part. If you're a guest on somebody's stream, be nice to them.
I mean, it depends why you're there, right? Because like if it's an antagonistic stream, like you're argued to debate, or you're invited.
You can debate without being an asshole.
Well, I guess like subscribers sometimes like catfighting, but I don't know who these people are, to be honest. Besides Hassan Piker. All I noticed was the people on the top that were so scared shitless they didn't want to put a word in because like
I was noticing that was sticking out to me as well. In the second clip I was watching this guy. Just play this again without sound really quick and just watch the guy in the top right. He's trying so hard to not be noticed. He's sitting perfectly still thinking like it's like a T-Rex. If I don't move they can't see me.
Yeah. I think
I've never seen somebody so terrified.
It might have a bit to do with Twitch's favoritism because it's some content creators, they actually have pull with the admins, and if they say some shit, they can get banned, right? Like if you go after Pokimane, for example, you criticize Pokimane, you get banned from Twitch. And I think
they have that do not ban list as well, so they always win.
Yeah.
My immediate concern is this guy on the lower left. I don't know who he is, but he definitely puts oil on himself before he streams. You can tell.
I think it's Andrew Tate. People are saying this. Is it?
You should stay on the call, but I think
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, I heard it as well. I don't know what he does, but apparently he's a comedian. And he got into MMA fights, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like he really wants to be Joe Rogan, but he spends way too much money on oiling his biceps so that they look extra big in his really, really carefully prepared studio lighting. Look at that.
It's a really nice studio, I gotta say.
It's a nice studio, but you could tell he put so much effort into the lighting, and his sound quality is still garbage. That sticks out to me, because that's some vanity right there.
Oh my god, don't get my chat started with the sound. Holy shit. Like,
I'm sorry.
They're never going to stop. But I do agree that like all the Twitch streamers have this like they have these different setups, but it's kind of like a combination of the same, you know? Like the bisexual lighting, for example.
The bisexual lighting. That's a good way to put it. I can
find the bisexual lighting was on Twitch.
I mean, like, if you look in the top right, that guy's got a little bit going on. He's got the red in the background and some blue-green color there. He's trying to add some contrast, but he really just looks like he's lost in his parents' house.
Okay, I found the bisexual lighting. Hold on.
Oh God, I'm interested in the bisexual lighting.
Now I know why the bisexual lighting is a thing, because apparently it's something you can order. Maybe I should order it as well, because it might provide some ambiance.
Oh, I've seen these.
Yeah, they certainly these. Like everyone has the bisexual lighting.
I mean, they certainly do add a little splash of color to things, but I feel like if you're doing that, you better go full into the whole gamer rainbow colored RGB thing, or you're gonna look very silly. We're gonna have to get you some V. We got to get you like some glasses that have RGB strips on them so that you can glow like one of those anime villains. You adjust your glasses, it gets all shiny.
No, but unironically, I want to buy these because they look kind of cool.
I can show you some reviews and stuff later. There's a lot of cool material out there.
You know, I currently have like 200 people in the chat. Like maybe I can get bisexual lighting, and then I'll have only 50 people in the chat.
So here's what I'm gonna say, chat. Let's get those wallets out and help V get bisexual lighting. We can get him some nice rainbow colors. He'll be very progressive. We'll have a good time. I'm about to donate.
Oh, can you imagine like
I want to see
the troll with the bisexual lighting in the background? That would be kind of fun.
I mean, I'm kind of on board. I think that would be rad.
People are saying that would be cringy, dude. That's Twitch. So
I love some of these responses though. LGRGB community lighting. That's pretty good.
But yeah, no, like when you think about Twitch, they also have the poke face, which is literally a socially acceptable version of the soy face.
Well, no, see, the problem is they don't even have that anymore because they canceled him. They canceled the pog face guy. Also, we got bots.
Can any mod ban that bot, please? Let me hold on. I need to ban. There we go.
I got you. I'm paying attention.
Very fast.
Yeah, I get to respond to these things really quickly because I have a second monitor, V.
Jordi Buchner says progressive. That is progressive, Jordi. Anyway, I want chat to tell me what you think about Spooki. I'm going to try to audition for more guests. See which one is going to be more regular. Spooki, you need to pray that the chat likes you. And
we'll see.
I'll probably do this like a weekly thing, like going through the news and talking about things that don't make sense. Oh, trade Daniel for the bisexual lighting fund. I will definitely consider getting it. Like I genuinely, I wonder if I need to get like 2 of them, right? Because they need to be in one corner and in another corner.
Well, I mean, it depends. If you just aim the camera towards one corner, you could get away with one. It would probably be enough.
Yeah, but I think it looks weird. Like only one corner light. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for being here, Spooki. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I always love hanging out.
Yeah.
Happy to talk to you anytime.
It's great. And
also, your chat is so clever. I love your chat. I love you guys.
He hasn't started VTuber yet, but he's when are you going to start actually?
Hopefully a couple weeks, but timeline's flexible. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'll give a link to your channel when you do that.
Sure, I certainly appreciate it.
And maybe next time I'll have your actual VTube model on my screen. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, we will have to see. It
definitely looks less concerning than what we have here. Like this doesn't scream Catholicism to me, Spooki. Like this right here doesn't scream piety. You know, I mean, I don't know if Jesus would like this.
I don't know. Jesus didn't wear pants either. He had a robe, so it's kind of the same thing.
That is correct. Subject to change. It's kind of Spooki money. Oh, thank you, subject to change. Anyway, right. Thank you for being here, and thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you all in the comment section. Take care.